DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
13 minutes after 9 o'clock, I want to bring in now, before I go to your calls and your WhatsApp, Magasela Mzobe, who is the MK Party head of the presidency, joining us on the line, just to get clarity around these decisions that have been taken by the MK Party, and particularly by the president of the MK Party, Jacob Zuma. Magasela, thank you so much for making time for us, man. Good morning.
Thank you, Clement, and the listeners of SFM. Good morning to you.
Yeah. So, Magasela, let's start first with the decision that was taken by seemingly John Hlophe, who's the parliamentary leader of the MK Party. He announced, well, through a statement the MK Party released, that Colleen Makubele is no longer the chief of staff for the MK Party in Parliament. She would be replaced by Des van Rooyen. Who did John Hlophe speak to before that decision was taken? I think we've just lost Magasela Mzobe there. Zintle, let's try get him back on the line. Let's try get him back on the line, because I'd really want us to, before I go to your calls, just get some context, because I'm also a little confused, and I'm sure some of you are as well. We've got him back on the line now. Yeah, Magasela, I was asking if what happened when John Hlophe, as a parliamentary leader, took the decision to replace Colleen Makubele with Des van Rooyen. Did he not consult anyone in the leadership of the MK Party?
Look, Clement, let's put this. The president was out of the country, as Zuma did, in Burkina Faso. We arrived back Tuesday morning to be confronted by headlines that the chief whip was removed. And I had to brief the president about these developments. It's 4:30 a.m. Everyone is asleep in leadership. The president is not briefed. I what happened. So it became clear that the president must convene an urgent meeting to ascertain what had transpired with the changes in Parliament. It is as a result of that meeting that it became clear to the president that this decision was taken unilaterally by the Deputy President, Dr. Hlophe, outside the principles of collective leadership in the party. That is why he arrived at the decision to precautionary suspend while a full investigation will as to what transpired.
Okay, so who was he supposed to consult before taking a decision like this? John Hlophe, that is.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, we had a media briefing where President Zuma announced a second deputy president, Comrade Tony Yengen. And in that media briefing, he made it clear that because he has an growing international commitment to tend to, he has appointed a second deputy president who has political and occasional responsibility when he's outside the country. Now, that was the first person we had to call, that Deputy President, he been briefed about this. He only got to know about the news from that call, asking him whether he knew about this. And that is a person that would have been a point of contact who would then have guided Parliament whether to take the decision or to wait until a fully fledged officials meeting take place.
So what reasons did he give then, Dr. John Hlophe, for replacing Colleen Makubele with Des van Rooyen? How did he explain it to the president?
The opportunity to explain in detail is created by President Zuma in announcing that there will be a full investigation. So at this stage, we have not benefited from that reasoning. That is why there's going to be a process where the Deputy President Hlophe and before the president, the team will have then even delayed their position.
Okay, and of course, the reason I was asking that is because even in the statement that the MK Party sent out, they didn't really tell the public or even MK Party members why Colleen Makubele is being removed and being replaced by Des van Rooyen. As things stand now, though, are you able to confirm whether the MK Party has full confidence in Colleen Makhubele? Because from the statement that you released is that Colleen Makhubele then remains the chief whip because the decision by John Hlophe is now nullified.
There is nothing internally that has been presented and debated by the leadership that makes President Zuma lose confidence in the leadership of Colleen Makhubele as chief whip. That is why in resolving this matter and precautionary suspending the deputy president, he immediately reinstated her into that position because nothing has been presented and agreed that this comrade is failing and need to be removed or changed, other than what we speculations that she failed what they call vetting, which she has publicly disputed that no vetting has started, but failed us. So that's what we're communicating a good decision that this decision was taken without a collective of the leadership and it has been reversed. And unfortunately and sadly, name of Comrade Desfano and get thrown into the mouth. Nothing to do with it.
Yeah, Magasela, before we leave, the line is also just breaking there. But before I let you go, what's your message to MK Party members who are worried about what they are seeing as possibly instability within the organization? All of these changes that are happening, and then they get reversed, and then some people take decisions that don't have the sanction and approval of the collective leadership. There are some MK Party members that are watching this and are wondering what on earth is going on with their organization. What's your message to them?
Clement, all of us are worried. None of us are celebrating communicating this decision. We just came back for Burkina Faso. We would have preferred to be talking to our members about the trip and the benefit that would come out of the trip. Now, confronted with this, unfortunately, the president had to act decisively to send a message that moving forward, all decisions of that magnitude can only be taken in meetings of the organization where all leaders will have a benefit of expressing themselves so that there is a total ownership of all decisions communicated. So the message to members and leaders across the country is that ill discipline won't be tolerated. The principle of collective leadership must be entrenched in the MK Party so that we can give confidence to the people out there that we're an organization that is worth to be voted for in the upcoming local government elections.
Well, Magasela Mzobe, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for making time for us this morning. That's the MK Party head of the presidency. Having heard what he's had to say, what do you think is at play here? One, I can already pick up that clearly Jacob Zuma is not happy with his deputy, John Hlophe. I don't know if John Hlophe can come back from this. I'm not so sure. Because he himself probably, his ego has taken a knock from the precautionary suspension, because as a parliamentary leader, he probably thinks that he's got the authority to take these decisions, but clearly he was expected to consult the collective leadership. So as things stand now, forget about Colleen Makhubele being removed as the chief whip. She remains the chief whip because Jacob Zuma has come out and nullified the decision that was taken by the MK Party's parliamentary leader, John Hlophe, to replace Colleen Makhubele with Des van Rooyen. So, and as you heard from Magasela Mzobe, there is nothing that the MK Party has, especially the leadership of the MK Party, that suggests that Colleen Makhubele hasn't been an effective, good leader. You can tell here that there are factional, internal fights, and they are blowing up and expressing themselves in the public. What does this mean for the MK Party? But more so, what does it mean for the relationship between John Hlophe and Jacob Zuma? What do you think is at play here? Also, remember Tony Ngeni was appointed as the second deputy president about, 2 weeks or so ago? Now it's beginning to make sense why. And my suspicion is that they were probably beginning to position him to replace John Hlophe, because already at that time, they could already see that they want John Hlophe out of the organization. So I won't be surprised in the next couple of days or weeks if for some reason John Hlophe leaves as the deputy president of the MK Party and Tony Ngeni firmly occupies the position of deputy president of the MK Party. What do you think? 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. Let's